Hey guys, good morning, good afternoon, and of course, good evening, depending on where you're watching from. Today we'll be looking at analysis on our usual pairs, which is the pound dollars, the BTCUSD, and of course, our favorite of all favorites, gold. Okay, so let's look at our analysis. We're starting with what's it called? We're starting with the pound dollar, and of course, you can actually see something familiar here, something like a circular, say, or what's it called? Circular momentum, or what some people can call head and shoulder, whatever you call it, it's nice. But then this appearing on the daily chart. The daily chart most time for day trade, it's actually still very nice to mark your zone on the daily chart. But then I think I prefer you go back to the lower time frame because most time a day candle on the day chart is everything you need as a day trader. So then let's go to the H4 to see the recent structure. Now there's actually looking at this, I think there's a chance that this like marks like to go down to test this zone right here. Looking at the daily chart, but then remember we are not trading this for swing, we are going this on the day trade. So then let's go do is let me escape this to get the time frames so that we can actually start our analysis on day trade. So let's go over to the H4 and zoom into our recent structures as usual. I'm sure by now you know how to actually analyze. You focus on recent structures, the market is likely to respect on H4. And of course, we mark this as a recent high, then mark this as a recent low. Good. So now what matters is what the market does from here, from this zone to this zone. Then if you mark this right here, if you use the 10 line to mark all this, you can see the market actually breaking below this with this candlestick, and of course you can see this bearish momentum. But then we are not still going to go short on this market until here gets broken. So what you're actually expecting right now on the pound dollar is a break below this zone, a retest of adopt that. So let me just delete that and start afresh. Okay. So what I'll be expecting now is a break below this zone, a retest, and of course then we continue on that. So that's what we'll be expecting on the pound dollar. So we're just going to wait right now to see how it breaks below this, then have a retest of this zone, then we continue on the long side. But then remember, in market, nothing is actually guaranteed. But this is actually what we're expecting. Remember, I told you based on the daily chart, we are currently bearish on pound dollar, but then anything can happen. So on the daily chart, if we should get broken, if you break above this zone, if you break above this zone, we can actually look for a retest of this zone, a break above, a retest of then we think of going long on that. So that's going to be on the long and on the short side for both pairs. So that means if you're going bearish, that means you look for a break below this, a retest and continuation. If you're going bullish, a break above this, a retest and continuation. That said, let's go to the next one, which is going to be BTC USD. Now, talking about BTC USD, just like I said yesterday, a lot of persons have actually been saying a lot about it being bearish or being bullish. Now, let's think what actually is likely to happen on it. So now going on this, we can actually see marking out our recent structures, which is right here, and of course our recent high right here. So this is our recent low and then this is our recent high. So what we're going to be expecting is the market to actually break above this. We test that, then we think of going long on that. So that means a break above this, a retest of that, then we go long continuation. Now you might be wondering where I got this trend line from. Where is it coming from? Let me see. Let me check out where the trend line is coming from. I think that should be on the daily or is it on the weekly? Yeah, I think on the weekly. That was the overall trend, looking at the overall trend of BTC, what's likely to happen. I'm sure you've already watched the video on this. If you haven't watched this, you can check the previous video I dropped. I think this is where I got that trend line from. So let's see what's going to happen today. So going to the 15 minutes chart, you can see the market is currently giving us signs of bullish momentum. the market moving with series of higher highs and higher lows, breaking below this previous zone right here. Okay, let's go down to the 30 minutes so you can see the break I'm currently talking about. So breaking below these recent, let's mark this, right? Let's use this to mark this. So breaking above this, having a test of this zone, but we're still going to wait for a break, complete break above this zone, a retest of that, then we think of going long on that. Or better still, you can actually focus on this zone right here. Good. As our next zone, so if it breaks above this, then a retest, they can think of this. Or if you're good enough and you can actually have a lot of patience, this will be the best place to actually think of going long on this. So that means just wait for the market to get to this zone, break above it. Because from what you can see here, this is a recent structure that actually gets respected here, it got respected here, and of course it's likely to get back there again. So let's see what happens. So if it gets here, breaks above it, then retest, they can think of going long on that. Otherwise, if it breaks below this, retest this, we can think of going short. So that's it on BTCUSD. That is going to be our analysis for today. Now let's go to my favorite of our favorite. Let's go to gold. Then before we go to gold, I'll be giving you uh, 10 seconds to hit the subscribe button, giving you 10 seconds to hit the bell icon, and of course, give you 10 seconds to follow this if you're watching on Facebook or TikTok. That said, while waiting for you, let's go to gold. Good. I'm sure you already you've subscribed already and you follow other channel. So let's take analysis on gold for today. Now on gold, gold seems to want to be bearish. We also did a major analysis on gold overall. I think that'll be drop any moment from now. So please try to watch that to see what is going to be our current analysis and what you think is going to happen to gold in the long run. Is gold going to remain bearish or is it going to remain bullish? That is what on the long run. But then let's focus on today's analysis and what is likely to happen. Now this is a recent low and I'm going to be deleting this. We use this to buy this market. I'm sure you watched that video. If you haven't watched it still, it's in one of our alerts. And in case you don't know what's alerts is a video we actually do up, or I actually do up most time when market gets to our zone of interest. We actually drop that alert to let you know that the market is there. So if you want to take, fine. If you want to watch, still fine. Remember, this is not a trading advice. I'm not telling you to take the trade the way I do. I'm only sharing my own perspective of the market so you can actually check it on yours. If it goes along with yours, then fine. If it doesn't, the money is yours and you choose what to do with it. That's it. So let's say what is going to happen. So overall on gold, you can see gold is going to be bearish today, this morning. So what we're going to be expecting is either a break below this, or let me go to 15 minutes charts to get a nice entry if you can get a recent entry. And of course, currently breaking this current structure we have right here. You can see the markets are breaking below this zone. So breaking below this zone is something nice. So, but if we wait for it to break below this, having a test of this, then we can think of shortening it to this zone. Or if that doesn't happen, of which we're actually very, very bearish, remember we are still bearish. But remember, you can't actually say what's going to happen directly that this must happen. If you have a break above this, a retest of this, then we can think of going, that means a break above, a retest, then we think of going long on that. But overall, we are still very much bearish on the day time frame. Please take note of that. That's for today. Today being the what's the date? I think today is 28th. So that means we are still overall bearish on gold. That's it. So that's going to be analysis. Don't forget, you can drop a comment in the comment section. If any of the analysis is not clear, you can just drop it there. If there's anyone you would like to look at, you can please do where to drop it and then look at it in our day trade analysis for tomorrow. That's it. That's going to be analysis for this week, also for today. And please do have a profitable day. And of course, see you in the next video.